Welcome to the Brain Alpha. Today, we're unpacking 12 really powerful lessons from a doctor who not only graduated from Cambridge, but also became a multimillionaire entrepreneur. These aren't just tips. Think of them as a blueprint for building a much more intentional and successful life.
So what if you could get the life strategy of someone like Ali Abdaal? We're talking about a Cambridge doctor who then built a massive online empire. Well, he's basically laid out his blueprint for high achievement, and we're going to walk through his absolute best strategies, all boiled down for you right here. Now, Ali originally shared 21 different tips for living a better life. We've gone through and distilled them into the 12 most powerful lessons, the ones that are absolutely essential if you want to start designing a more successful future, starting today.
To make this super clear, we've organized these 12 lessons into 3 core pillars. First, we'll talk about how you navigate the world around you. Then, we'll dive into mastering your own habits. And finally, we'll get into unlocking the right mindset for real growth.
All right, let's jump right into Pillar 1, navigating your world. This is all about understanding the external stuff, the rules of the game and the other people who are playing it with you.
The very first lesson is so fundamental. You always have to know the win condition of the game you're playing. Think about it. When you're a student, winning means getting high test scores. But the second you become an employee, that rulebook is totally useless. Now, winning is about hitting your targets. You just can't succeed if you're playing by the old rules. So you have to ask yourself, what game am I in right now, and what does it actually take to win?
And since success is rarely a solo sport, right? The next lesson is all about getting good at your interactions. This means you should be proactively trying to expand your network and, even better, be the person who connects other people. When you keep an open mind and just follow the simple rule of not being a jerk, you build up this social capital that opens doors. In the long run, how you play with others is a huge part of whether you win. Okay, now let's turn inward to Pillar 2, mastering your habits. This is where we shift our focus from the outside world to our own internal machinery, our health, our routines, and the systems we use to grow.
Everything, and I mean everything, starts with your physical body. Ali's advice here is so simple, but it's profound. Pay attention to your posture. Slumping over a desk all day might feel harmless now, but it is a direct path to body misalignment, fatigue, and pain down the road. Just remember, your health is the platform for absolutely everything else you want to do.
Now, just think for a second about the amount of information we are bombarded with. Every single day, it's about 34 gigabytes. That's like reading 174 newspapers. Our brains were just never designed to hold on to that much stuff. So, what's the solution?
You build a second brain. This is basically a system. It can be a notebook or a fancy app, whatever works for you, where you just capture everything. Ideas, quotes, meeting notes, you name it. By writing it all down, you free up your actual brain to do what it does best. Think and create, not just act as a storage unit. Even taking just 10 minutes to jot down your thoughts after learning something can totally change how you use that information later. Next up, let's talk about timing. You know that whole hustle culture thing of staying up late to work? It's a total productivity trap. Research shows that we can be 6 to 8 times more effective in the morning than we are at night. So instead of grinding for an extra hour when you're totally exhausted, just go to bed and wake up an hour earlier. Your output will absolutely skyrocket.
And this brings us to the incredible power of tiny habits. The goal isn't some massive change overnight. It's just to get 1% better each day. Commit to the smallest possible action. Read 1 page. Walk for 5 minutes. These little actions feel insignificant, but they tap into the incredible power of compounding over time to create absolutely massive results.
Finally, we've arrived at Pillar 3, unlocking your mindset. This is all about adopting the mental models that let you take action, bounce back from failure, and focus on what really, truly matters. This is a classic Silicon Valley mantra, and for good reason. If you have an idea you really believe in, don't just sit around waiting for someone to give you the green light. Start building it. Start creating it. Just take action. In most cases, if you mess up, a sincere apology is all it takes. This one mental shift can totally crank up your bias for action.
Okay, here's a blunt truth that is so freeing. Nobody cares. People are not scrutinizing your every move, mainly because they're way too busy worrying about their own lives. They're the main character in their story, just like you are in yours. Once you really let that sink in, the fear of judgment just loses its power, and you're free to try, to fail, and to experiment.
Now, let's just reframe how we think about money. For a traditional worker, income is linear. You trade your time for a fixed rate. But an investor or an entrepreneur is playing a completely different game. Their path is exponential. It usually starts close to zero, and it takes a lot of patience, but it can hit this incredible inflection point and just grow explosively.
The real key here isn't just about buying stocks. It's about adopting an investor's mindset. This means you're constantly asking yourself, how can I build systems that create value without me having to directly trade my time for it? And honestly, the skills you learn creating these passive income streams are way more valuable than the initial money you make from them.
And this brings us to the final lesson, which is maybe the most powerful of all. It's captured perfectly in the Serenity Prayer. This isn't about giving up. It's about strategic focus.
Here's the paradox. We waste so much of our energy trying to change things that are completely outside of our control. The moment you truly accept those things you can't change, you reclaim all of that wasted energy. And then you can redirect that massive force toward the things you do have the power to influence. And that is how real change happens.
So that's the blueprint. 12 lessons, all organized into 3 really powerful pillars. Let's do a quick final recap so you know how you can start putting these into action today.
So remember the 3 pillars. First, navigate your world by understanding the rules of the game and building a strong network. Second, master your habits by creating systems for your physical and mental growth. And third, unlock your mindset by adopting mental frameworks that encourage action, courage, and strategic focus.
And that leaves us with one final question for you. After everything we've just covered, what is the one small thing that you have the power to change starting right now? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and help us build the hype. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.